everyone, and welcome to the Championship Sunday of the 2022 Jonesboro Open. We're in beautiful Jonesboro, Arkansas at the disc side of heaven. We have an incredible day in store for you as we take a look at our current conditions. Temperature's a little bit lower at 69 degrees. The humidity is up. The wind, well, it's starting to simmer down. We'll see if that holds throughout this morning's round. We'll also have to see if anyone can go and capture or take down the title and take it away from that woman right there, Kristen Tatar. She's moving into position to get prepared for Championship Sunday. And Val, man, two very impressive days of disc golf. Can she maintain, and what can she do on this third and final day?
Yeah, those are the questions. But, you know, knowing Kristen Tatar and the history that she's had and how consistent of a player she is, we have to assume that she's going to maintain. That is all we can go off of. We haven't necessarily seen Kristen Tatar blow up and, you know, have just an atrocious round after playing so consistently. So it's really up to her to lose this tournament. But if she continues to play as well as she has in these first 2 days, I think it's locked down in her name.
Well, she has been performing so well throughout this year, and we go all the way back to last year, and everything that she's been doing at majors and beyond. Whenever she's here on the Elite Series, we're going to look at some of the highlights from the last 2 days. This is Kristen with her tee shot on hole number 6, confidently going with the forehand. Her first round rated 10.22, which is the highest of her career. You see the great putt on 11, 12, no fear with the downhill putt for birdie. Poised, confident, just always sticking to her game plan, executing shots, park jobs like that on hole number 13. Comes back with a great putt there as well. That's yesterday's round. And everything I felt like she was doing in round 1, she just continued to do in round 2 in windier conditions. Another great shot for birdie on hole number 13. This is the uphill hole 15. She made a putt for par from almost that exact same distance the day before. Kristen, like you said, Val, consistency, poise, confidence, and she looks like a superhero on top of it all from Estonia. Let's take a look at what she's done when she's been in the driver's seat. And at the 2021 Preserve over in Minnesota last year, she went on to have a 10-stroke margin of victory. After 2 rounds, she had a 7-stroke, so she extended it. Her first major at the 2019 PDGA, she ended up winning by 4 when she went into the final round tied. And last year at the D-Glow, it really all went down on hole number 17. She went into that round 2 strokes down to Paige Pierce, and on hole 17 canned a long uphill putt. And even as I'm talking about it, I'm getting chills because it was so amazing. And here she is as we're looking at the Paragon notable statistics. She's pretty much owning every single category that you could want to have your name attached to. She's prepping, getting ready, and we're going to keep our eyes on the rest of the field. A lot of great battles going on. We see Paige Pierce there with her birdie look on hole number 1. And we have chase card and lead card competitors ready to go.
9:18 a.m. tee time. Teeing up first, Stacy Ronsley. Teeing off second, Katrina Allen. to tee, Valerie Mondajano. Rounding out the 9:18 a.m. tee time, Alexis Mondajano.
Val, we just keep our eyes on another head-to-head battle between the Mondajano sisters. Looking forward to that as well. Out on the ground, we've got Nate Perkins. He's checking in with our own PDGA's Grant Zellner.
Good morning and welcome to Championship Sunday here on the Disc Golf Network. I'm Nate Perkins and I'm joined with PDGA's own Grant Zellner. Grant, we've been walking the hills of the Disc Side of Heaven together all week. What are some of your thoughts on the course?
I mean, we love our partnership with the Disc Golf Pro Tour because of the way it showcases the sport. You know, our initiatives include growing the sport in general, and I mean, my passion gets increased for playing disc golf, just being around these elite players and on a venue like this. And that goes to another one of our initiatives, which is making sure that events increase in number and are well run. You can see through the camera lens how well run an event like this is. Everything from course setup, you know, the way out of bounds and things like that are handled, facilitating the players, even the crowd control, all of that comes through the lens, and all of those solutions are scalable. And our event services team, event support team, can help event runners find solutions for their own events, no matter how big they are, no matter how many players they have, or what kind of situations and challenges they're dealing with. There are solutions, and you have no idea how many solutions have been found out here to make this event the elite event that it is.
And this is one of the longest tenured Elite Series events, and I haven't seen it on this scale. You just said that the event services team helps these tournament directors scale it. We've got upwards of 1,000 spectators here at the Disc Side of Heaven. How special is that?
Yeah, from what I've heard, more spectators than most that have been here for years have ever seen on this property. And the great thing is the property is able to handle that kind of volume of people, which again goes right back to growing the sport. More eyeballs on the sport. It's great.
And great to hear from Nate and Grant Zellner. In all honesty, Val, I was just thinking about how I'm going to be filling out my paperwork to sanction a PDGA tournament myself. Certainly not to this scale, but I enjoy running tournaments. I've been doing it for 20 years, and the PDGA, we've come a long way from the paper reporting to where we are with being able to basically run a tournament from your phone. Now we've got Katrina Allen with her birdie look on hole number 1.
Katrina Allen moved up 8 spots in yesterday's round. She shot a 4 under compared to her round 1 score of 1 under. So she made some moves yesterday, and she definitely has the potential to continue climbing.
Stacy Ronsley off the mark. We'll continue to check in with Nate Perkins throughout the day, but one quick tip note he gave us this morning, which I guess could be a tip. He said there is a possible threat of rain, so you might see a few umbrellas that are walking around with our competitors, but also that the winds aren't quite as strong as they've been the last 2 days. That flag is telling me otherwise. I realize that, but I did want to just echo what Nate had told us.
That was exactly what I was thinking, Terry.
Like what?
It's nothing.
It's no
nothing
wind.
Today.
We have Paige Pierce, the tee of hole number 3. Par job. Keep yourself parked. We'll be right back after a word from these sponsors.
Some say we're hidden, unless you know where to look. Hidden? No. This is where we stand up straight and tell you who we are, and where we put others first. This is where college football and barbecue are a season in the same. And there's always time for one more lap around the park. This is where we ask, what else can we accomplish together? Come find out. Be a part of this. This is Jonesboro, Arkansas. Now you know where to look.
An important part of getting a PDGA membership is helping grow the game. Membership dollars are used to bolster competition of all levels, from local C-tiers to majors. Tools like Digital Scorecard and Tournament Manager help events run seamlessly. Your PDGA membership also gives you access to Disc Golf Network coverage for select events and a 50% discount to their full coverage package. Help grow the sport and get started today. Visit pdga.com/join.
Champion, Katrina Allen! World champion, Jenkins!
Whose sandwich is that?
Well, I found it in the fridge and it didn't have any markings or ink
That's
on it.
my sandwich.
Well, why didn't you mark it?
I did, see?
How do I know it's your sandwich if there's no PDGA number on it?
Check the bottom slice of bread. Anyways, don't you have a sandwich of your own?
I did, but I lost it in the water.
What water? Give me my sandwich, you're sleeping on the couch tonight.
But the RV doesn't have a couch. Val! Val!
What do I love about disc golf? Same thing we all love. Sound of the chains.
I love that you can play on a course or make up your own.
My favorite thing about disc golf is challenging myself every time I step onto a court.
What do I love disc golf? It gives me the chance to connect with an incredible community and throw some pretty amazing discs. Because after all, big is love, big is life.
I love disc golf because you can be as creative as you want with this sport.
I would recommend the Envy to every single person that plays disc golf.
This is such a good throwing putter.
If you don't have an Envy in your bag, I don't know what you're doing.
The Envy is one of the most pure, straight flying putters.
Comes out clean, can handle power, it can handle touch. It's just very versatile.
It holds any line that you're really putting it on. It's so good. So good! It's so good.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances, and studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
And welcome back, everyone. We're going to take a quick look at the largest margins of victory in DGPT history. Paige Pierce, you see her quite often on that list. Katrina Allen also in the 2016 Green Mountain Championships with that 16-stroke margin. Paige Pierce owns quite a few of those other categories or other event titles. So impressive. Here's Stacy Ronsley, hole number 2.
That sounded like rain to me, Terry.
Sad day. Sad
drops
times.
fall and everyone's scattering.
Just like that. It feels as if it came out of nowhere. A few moments ago, they were all smiles ready to go, a few fist bumps, and now the rain gear will come out. And what an advantage. At least they're knowing they're somewhat near the parking lot. They can grab anything that they didn't have before or quickly go get it before we get started. See, Katrina Allen already has her umbrella out and throwing a great second shot on 2.
We know that the players have had to deal with the aftermath of some rain in the last week, and the fairways and tee pads being a little bit sloppy. Things dried out over the last 2 rounds with the wind and beautiful weather. So, those are all the factors that you have to keep in mind when you have wet conditions.
We have actual rain coming later. So when it rains, it's time and a half, right?
We're ready to go. When on you. What is it?
And it looks like any moment now we're going to get the official start call here.
Here we go. We are live on the tee with a 9:33 FPO lead card. First to tee, Kristen Tatar. Missy Gannon. Third to tee, Cat Merch. Let's go. You're too good for your home. Rounding out the 9:33 a.m. tee time, Hansen.
And Val, we're seeing the struggles as big as the fairway is on hole 1. No one really finding the center of it. We jump up to hole number 2. And Valerie Mondajano. Haley King, no problem. I apologize, it's hole 3. This is Katrina Allen with her birdie look on hole 2.
So Terry, I'm shaking my head. I can only imagine what it's like for these competitors stepping on the tee. The storm cloud rolls in, the wind is still consistently blowing pretty strong, and you want to shoot the best round you can. Today, anything could happen. When there's weather, literally anything can happen. It's going to be tough for Kristen Tatar to keep that mental strength, to continue to feel comfortable. Whereas players on this lead card that are trying to chase her, this could be their opportunity. Crazy weather like this levels the playing field, no matter how well you've been shooting throughout the tournament.
When you look at some of our competitors with the, we'll call it a flat-out advantage to have a caddy or a full-time caddy like Missy does with Tom, I don't think we'll see the same necessarily for Kristen. You know, her significant other in silver is out at the event, but depending on when he competes today, he may or may not be able to assist and walk along with her and help her out. Here's Katrina Allen on the tee of 3. You see the slip by Allen. Doesn't look like it affected the result too much. Not a bad slip. And I am taking a look at the weather right now via weather.com, not an official sponsor. But I see it looks like there's just a couple of green patches of weather that's rolled in. So this very well may get past us very quickly. They're hoping they'll be able to bring the umbrellas down in probably under 30 minutes or so. But just like our play, anything can happen. Stacy Ronsley. Cannot argue with that result. Great drive by Stacy.
Stacy is coming into today's round in 5th place, just 1 stroke back of Ella Hansen. So that chase card is something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Who is going to battle their way up to possibly get a podium finish?
Cat Murch we saw with a caddy, so certainly to her advantage. You also hear the loudest home state cheers for her as she was teeing off. And Kristen Tatar.
Thank you.
Right underneath the pin. She'll be walking away with a 3.
Umbrellas in the wind. You set them down, you don't know if they're going to still be there when you get back.
Certainly not something we're used to seeing from Missy Gannon, a putt from inside the circle that barely touches chain. Cat Murch will open with the par. Missy steps up somewhat quickly there, keeping your disc dry, going through some of those motions, but then also finding that correct balance with going through your regular routine. And some players adapt and can shorten their routine, and it's not really a big deal. I think of someone like a Ricky Wysocki, for instance. He can get up and throw very quickly if the opportunity presents itself. We'll have to see how our players adjust to that today. It looked like Missy maybe was a little bit quicker than her regular routine on that par putt. Going through all the motions here is Katrina Allen. And just an inch or two short.
It looks like there's just a cloud over our lead card, but the chase card doesn't seem to be bothering them.
The chase card doesn't mind that. Well, we're taking a look at our UDisc course close-up for this beautiful disc side of heaven. As we heard earlier, a staple on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Number 2 ranked course in Arkansas. One of my favorite. The water holes, 5, 6, and 16. They cross over that pond a couple of different times. The best scoring separator out here, hole number 17. We'll see all sorts of action there. Discover over 13,000 courses. Make sure you go out to your favorite app store, download UDisc, the app for disc golfers. They also can give you great tournament information, registration, leagues. You can do pretty much everything you need to do right there on UDisc. You can even use it from your smartwatch. Valerie not able to draw medal there on 3. And we are also catching word from Nate Perkins out on the ground. The rain now has stopped. So just a little sprinkle there for one hole, just to remind everybody, hey, we can throw any element we want at you. And good to hear that the rain has stopped out there in Jonesboro. Stacy Ronsley teeing off here on 4. Stacy's best previous finish at an Elite Series event was in Delaware last year, where she finished 13th. So certainly trying to improve upon that this weekend.
I'm glad to hear that the rain has held off for now, at least, because this course is so beautiful and the opportunities for these players to score very low. And that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see on Championship Sunday. So get out of here, rain clouds. We can deal with the wind. Looks like Kristen left that a little bit inside. Pretty wide fairway here on hole 2. See most players going the right-hand route. Hitting that small window, big hyzer out into the field, but like Kat just did there, you want to push it out wide so that it can come back and land in the middle.
And caught up is Ella Hansen. I'd like to check in with Nate Perkins quickly. Nate, we see that red and white post out there. Remind everyone what exactly that means for our players.
Yeah, the red and white post marks 250 feet from the tee. So pretty much any par 4, that's going to mark an excellent drive.
All right, thank you for the info. We see the red and white. We'll also see blue and white posts, which mark 400 feet. But now we're going to take a look at Val's keys presented to us by blackinkdisc.com, the premium disc golf store. We talked about the beauty of this course. What do they need to do to be successful here, Val?
Well, we just saw it on hole 2, controlled distance. You have to make sure that when you're going out with full power on these drives and these big fairways, that you're controlling the shot to land in the perfect spot on the fairway. That'll set you up nicely for the second shot, and it'll lead me into key number 2, opportunities to score. If you're not in the right places, you're not going to give yourself the opportunity to possibly go for a C2 putt, you know, make a birdie, maybe make an eagle. And when we get down to the nitty-gritty in the final few holes, don't give up. It's a very tough finish to this course.
Katrina has plenty of work to do there still on 4. And speaking of don't give up, Katrina talked about that, knowing that she was actually out of the cash line last weekend and really struggled in rounds 1 through 3. Then she comes back, shoots the hot round, moves herself up into the cash. So impressive. And she talked in the press conference about how it just shows her grit and perseverance and determination out there on the course. Truly a testament to that. Here's Ella throwing her second shot. It's going to be just short of circle 1.
And because disc golf is such a mental game, it's tough to have that perseverance, to fight through the say you miss a putt, how do you bounce back? But with more experience and putting yourself in more situations, that's how you can grow. You can only learn through the faults. And really, we've seen it all on the disc golf course. I mean, even if you're playing the most consistent through the tournament, you could still not take home the trophy.
Kristen just short of circle 1 as well.
Uphill climb the entire way to the basket with an OB line on the left-hand side.
And we see the umbrella opening back up as Nate Perkins tells us, well, the rain started back again. Here's Valerie throwing her second shot on hole number 4.
That came with the Firebird.
And notice how all of the previous 3 competitors had run-ups to their shot. The distance that Kat got off the tee, she was able just to stand and deliver. We'll see if she can capitalize and walk away with the birdie. Here's Stacy. And right near circle's edge. Holland Hanley. Tee shot of 6 going over the water and finds herself safe and on the island looking for a birdie.
This is where Ella got it going in round 2. Let's see if she can cash it in. That last swoop into the basket, I wasn't sure, but all the way to the last second. Awesome putt, Ella.
She's going to flex on us, as she should. Ella Hansen, circle 2 putt for the birdie on hole number 2. Hole 2 playing as the 12th most difficult, averaging 3.76. 37% of our field have taken birdies. Here's Kristen Tatar. And no medal for Kristen. Cat Merch also from middle of circle 2. This is for birdie.
So here's a stat for you. Round 1, Ella Hansen, 3 putts in circle 2. Round 2, Ella Hansen, 2 putts. from Circle 2. She has been on fire from distance this weekend.
Missy Gannon hoping to negate the bogey she opened with. That looked firm, confident, no problems for Missy Gannon. And Nate Perkins is out there. He's been watching the action in person for the last few days. Nate, has there been anything that you've noticed with some of these longer range putts by Ella or any of the other competitors?
Well, Terry, I had a great angle on Ella's putt right there. And often, you know, someone makes a putt and it's continuing through the chains. She was deep in circle 2. That was the full flight of that putter, and she's leading the FPO field from circle 2.
Well, she's been taking them from distance, as you said, Val, and that one just dumping into the basket at the last moment for her. Way deep in circle 2. Ella Hansen, the sole birdie. Seems like she should be patenting what she's doing out there this weekend, and she needs to reach out to Sunstein Law. And the fist pump, everybody loves it. Sunstein can help you with trademarks, copyrights, patents. I've heard they can even assist in the NFT category. Everybody needs a non-fungible token. Ella Hansen, huge putt. Make sure you reach out to Sunstein Law for all of your patent, copyright, and trademark needs. Now Paige Pierce on the tee of 6. Needs to swing back to the right, and it's going to do so. Paige with a look at birdie on the island green. Katrina Allen's 3rd on hole number 4. Here's Holland. We saw the drive, and she completes it. Birdie. Holland Hanley off to a great start, picking up 4 birdies in the last 5 holes. Ella with the honors on 3.
Hyzering out. It checks up. There is an out-of-bounds fence that continues on through hole 3 on the left-hand side as well. This hole's a little bit over 300 feet, but gradually climbs all the way to the basket. So it's going to play longer than it says on paper.
Wide but workable. Tatar with her closest drive yet. We'll see if she can connect on something from a little bit shorter. The 2 looks she's had have both been from circle 2. Not much to read off of those, so we'll see what she can do from closer range. Here's Kat Murch. She was running this basket in previous rounds. And again deep here in round number 3. Stacy Ronsley. Head back to Paige Pierce. This is the green of 6.
Hello. Paige Pierce has come to the party.
Well, she has taken this event down 4 times previously, so she certainly knows how to win out here and be competitive. This is your only other winner that we've seen at the Jonesboro course at the This Side of Heaven. That's Katrina Allen, your champion, of course, from last year. Those are the only 2 women that have walked away champions from this event in prior years. That is a live drone shot. Really able to show off the natural beauty that we find out here at the This Side of Heaven course.
And would you look at those houses along the course? We see a lot of neighborhoods lining courses, but those are some mansions lining this beautiful course. You always say, oh, yeah, I wish I lived by hole 7. This course. Yeah, this would be at the top of my list right now.
Ella Hansen with another opportunity from circle 2. Online, just not enough power for her. And this will be Kristen's first birdie look from inside circle 1. And her first birdie make from inside circle 1. Kristen Tatar officially on, well, I was going to say on the boards, but her 16 under previously have done just that. Here she is, first birdie of the round. And Missy Gannon also able to pick up the birdie. Maybe proving that hole 1 was just a little hiccup for her.
She doesn't have that rain jacket on anymore, that's for sure.
Can't merge. Deep of the basket. Makes the comebacker and also picks up her first birdie. And Ella goes from the only birdie to the only par here on hole number 3. Taking another look at Kristen. Exactly what you would expect. Straddle putt, low, precise, firm. Everything that's gotten her to where she is at this tournament. Holland Hanley, the forehand, gonna make hole 7 a little bit more difficult for her. Here's Stacy Ronsley, tee of 5.
Bringing the water into play here on hole 5. Lake on the right, and she gets hung up in the tree. She'll proceed to the drop zone for her next shot.
Holland not able to find the gap there where the green is on hole number 7. She'll have a long putt, and if you think back to yesterday, she ended up being our OTB shot of the day with a putt from just about 60 feet off in that neighborhood. So maybe that's just the place she's playing to because she's comfortable with it and knows she can make a big putt from over there.
And we should all be keeping an eye on that small little leaderboard in the corner of our screen. We're going to see a lot of movement here on Championship Sunday.
And that was a good kick.
Very fortunate. I was thinking the worst thing about throwing low on this huge hole is that you're going to get that flare skip off to the left. Now that's a great shot from Kristen. Punching it out straight and getting past those trees. This is a par 4, 630 feet.
And we see her nestle up right next to the 250-foot marker. Nate, after just seeing that last throw by Kristen, I have to wonder, do you feel like we're going to see more skips? Is the ground wet enough to assist in some skips, and is that applicable throughout the entire course?
Yeah, a little less friction here on the fairways and some of the greens. I think we will see more skips, and it looks like we do have one more wall of rain headed our direction.
So the umbrellas will continue to pop back up. Nice low line drive by Ella Hansen. She'll be short and have just under 300 feet to the pin. Pierce with her second shot on hole number 7. Lines up nicely to the pocket. That was Katrina for her birdie. And from what we've seen, Katrina not quite dialed in with the putting here today.
Yes,
All right, so Holland Hanley. She is just picking her spot from long range over here on hole number 7. That was from circle 2. Not quite the distance that she had yesterday, but another long putt. Here's Stacy Ronsley on 5.
Putter is not quite connecting for Stacy today. And Paige just showing that that approach to the basket can just be a simple straight shot. I've always assumed that really to get it close you need a sidearm. Paige says otherwise.
I have to dial it back a little bit, but I think Paige shot a 14 under here a few years ago, and she did so in the final round. She went on to win that event, but a 14 under, so we know that she has the capability to light it up. Katrina Allen, a 12 under last year during round number 2.
Yeah, Paige's record-setting round. 6 down in the front 9, 8 down. Near perfect in the back 9.
Ooh, you're right.
Another slip from Katrina.
Fair enough.
They don't seem to be affecting the outcome. I'm sure she has to be worried about her overall safety, but the shots are still working out.
Just slide with it. I can't help to think of, you know, these patches of clouds that are moving in today and the timing of it all. You know, it's not going to affect you as much on a wide open hole like this where there's no out of bounds. But say it comes in when you're playing hole 5, hole 6. It could make all the difference.
And that's pushing to the OB and out of bounds for Kat Mertz. She's gone deep of the basket. The wall is just there for visual representation and for the branding and marketing. It is that white line that determines the OB. So Kat Mertz long in 2 throws here on hole number 4. That's also coming in hot, but it checks up. And that is safe for Ella Hansen. That is just a mid-range for Ella Hansen. Oh, that's going to be out of bounds for Stacy Ronsley, who is struggling here during Championship Sunday. You know, and great observation by Nate Perkins just a moment ago, informing us that that was a mid-range by Ella as opposed to what we saw coming in from Kat Mertz. Kat's continued to skip, just had that much more speed on it. Ella's, once hers came in, looked like the same amount of speed, actually. It just slowed down, and when it hit the ground, it stopped that much quicker because of the mid-range choice or mold that it was, as opposed to something that had a sharper edge to it. Huge advantage for Ella to be able to go with a mid-range from that distance for that exact reason. Pierce, T of 8. She needs to stay wide of those trees. And it looks like it did the exact opposite. Instead, caught a branch, kicked into the right. We'll see if she has an alley or a look at the basket.
And speaking of Ella Hansen, after the round that she had yesterday, I mean, she shot incredible. She was making moves until we got to hole 5. She went bogey on hole 5, bogey on hole 6, while Kristen Tatar birdied both of those holes. It was just interesting looking at the two scorecards and the coulda, woulda, shoulda. And for Ella Hansen, 5 bogey strokes, 2 holes where she went from birdie putts to bogeys. There were so many opportunities for an amazing score to happen.
Certainly a chance to clean some things up today. And Missy Gannon will have an easy tap in from there for her par.
And when I look at scores like that, it's the dramatic swings. It's not the playing very consistent, missed a few putts. Those are dramatic swings to shooting pretty lights out round.
Kristen Sitar for birdie. Count it. Kristen Tatar, bottom of the basket for hole number 4. And for Kristen, that's a 2-stroke cleanup for herself. Yesterday, coming in with the bogey on 4.
We're soon going to switch to a mode where we're just going to see Kristen Tatar charging forward with so much confidence. Nobody has been pushing her yet. There's no pressure.
Ella Hansen for birdie. Definitely a missed opportunity there for Ella Hansen from inside the circle. And so if you're Kristen, you got to feel good about picking up a few more insurance strokes at this point on hole number 4. Getting 1 on both Missy and Ella and 2 on Cat Merge. Paige Pierce right side. And not much of a look at the basket to try to put it in. Little pitch out to the base there on hole number 8. Here's Katrina Allen. This is for birdie on 6.
Wow. Finally a putt for Katrina that hits the heart of the chains, but it smashes back right out. That's not going to help your putting confidence.
Cat going through her full routine. That one was a little bit high, but ultimately in, and Katrina Allen, I'm sure frustrated, not so much at herself for that one, but maybe a little frustrated at the equipment. Sometimes they just don't stay in. fading back. And Kristen Tatar going for the green, giving it a full send, and now she has an easy comeback look. Not necessarily an easy putt for the birdie, but worst case scenario, she's walking away from here with a par. And that's huge because this hole, we can see massive stroke swings and scoring swings. And a very different approach. Missy Gannon with the layup.
Ella put plenty of power on it today. Just get it safe. 345 feet from tee to pin.
And if you're going to go for it, you have to give it everything. You cannot come up short unless you find the OB Creek. And Cat Merch, certainly not short.
Hands up over her head. She actually hit the flag post on the first day.
Cat Merch loving her time out there. Seems like she has hole 5 on full send mode. Now she's going to have to make the comebacker, though. She is likely going to be the farthest from the pin.
Kristen Sitar has birdied both 5 and 6 in the previous 2 rounds. I am not quick enough to pull up the stats on that, but I have to say that is one of the keys to shooting well out on this course.
Staying out of trouble on 5, so crucial. As we're watching Paige Pierce lace a drive on hole number 9. And that should put her in really good position. Possible eagle opportunity for Paige Pierce if she can make a great second shot.
And there's something to be said about sticking to a game plan. Missy Gannon choosing this layup. Missy has hard this hole in the previous 2 rounds with this game plan. And that's all you're asking for when you lay up. Walk away with the par. Would you be happy with it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about a game plan, like you said, coming into this tournament. If you said, hole number 5, we're going to give you 3 pars, take it or leave it. Never a chance for birdie, but you also won't take a bogey. You'll take 3 pars. I think almost every player in the tournament would say, yep, good, I'll take it. We'll move on.
That's what we're seeing on average, but we're seeing a lot of players certainly finding the water and getting into trouble, especially when that wind picks up. Ella is plenty safe here, but look at the length of this comeback putt.
Draws metal from circle 2, and it looks like she's actually had a little greater distance than what Cat Merch has. So Cat will have an opportunity from circle 2 for the birdie.
And they are putting straight at the out of bounds. It's right at circle's edge.
Well, it's right there, Val, and unfortunately, Cat flirting with it. She comes up short of it, so she's going to be safe, but she's going to have at least 25, close to 28 feet as a comeback putt now to save the par. And Kristen thinking, yep, I'll take another insurance stroke here if I can convert on this birdie. A bit low and surprising, Val. We both looked at each other as if, what just happened? Confident Cat Merch will walk away with the par, even with the unfortunate roll away. Missy Gannon for par. And 4 pars on hole number 5. Missed opportunity maybe for Kristen, but can't be too disappointed when you walk away from that hole without finding any kind of OB. And thanks to Ace Trace, we can take another look at Kristen Tatar's drive. A low laser that goes just deep of the pin. If you too want to be able to show off to all your friends all your great drives, head out to the App Store. Make sure you download the Ace Trace app. I'm not saying you're going to be able to throw like Kristen or nearly as effectively or as well, but at least you can show off to your friends. Just maybe go to a shorter hole and not tell them the distance. That's what I would do. Ace Trace, thank you for your support here on the Disc Golf Network.
I've been just entertained by watching the Ace Trace and how the wind is affecting the discs. You know, they're not climbing the whole way. They drop mid-flight, then they climb again. It's just interesting watching the line of the flight.
A very awkward stance for Katrina Allen. You see as she's up against the fence there. And she threw that in. Incredible birdie for Katrina Allen. And as we're taking a look over on the top of hole 6, they have a short walk from 5 to 6. I want to throw it out to Nate Perkins. Nate, this is an island green. What is the wind doing, and what does it feel like as they're trying to cross the water? What's required of them for this shot?
Yeah, so the wind's picking up here, and it's again a right to left wind. Helps the forehand and hurts the backhand.
Seems to be helping Kristen Tatar's shot. A little bit short, but she's on the green, and most importantly, she's safe. Just heard from Perkins that the backhand angle in which you put this, well, Missy will have to put this disc on, not necessarily conducive to the wind that's provided out there. Well, Missy says, don't worry about it. I got this. Incredible shot by Missy Gannon on the green of 6. And way too much power for Ella Hansen. She's gone out over the green and beyond. Anything that doesn't land on the green on hole number 6, you immediately go to the drop zone, regardless of where you went OB. So Ella Hansen will be going to the drop zone and throwing 3 from there.
Oh man, just a little bit too low.
Nate telling us that the wind just held Ella's up the entire way. You also saw how, even though Kat put that on the backhand, it didn't fight back with the hyzer at the end. as opposed to what we're seeing here from Missy Gannon. Just dialed, and the flag certainly little assist there. I think it would have sat down just fine inside the circle otherwise, but take the assist from the flag all day for the drop-in from bullseye range.
Just shows you how accurate. I mean, the pole of the flag is tiny, and she hit it dead center.
So she's throwing 3, likely walking away with a bogey, but she'll have work to do. The wind, maybe it's swirling or it's just holding the disc up. Nate, she threw a mid-range there, you're telling us, and she still went deep? What's going on with the wind out there?
Yeah, really surprising to see Ella's mid go deep, but you could see the wind just get underneath it and hold it up in the air. And then the exact opposite with Kat, that right to left wind, she threw it flat, it got on top of the right edge of the disc and just slammed it down, prevented it from swinging back in.
Well, and as they are crossing the bridge, I often feel like this hole is a 2 or a 4. If you put it on the green, you're more often than not making the birdie. Otherwise, you're looking at the bogey. And long range for Katrina Allen. That was for birdie on 8. And Paige Pierce threw her second shot to this position. So from circle 2, this is Pierce for eagle on 9. That'll be a tap-in birdie for Pierce.
I'm trying to do quick math and thinking that Ella Hansen throwing a mid-range off of the tee, going 60 long.
That adds up to a pretty big throw. Is that what you're telling us, Val?
Yeah. 350, 370. It's a crush.
Now she has some work to do. This is to save the bogey. And again, it looks like the wind assisted in the lift there.
Quit helping, wind. You're not helping.
Will walk with bogey on 6. And hole 6 not doing any favors to Ella Hansen's scorecard here in our championship Sunday. Missy Gannon will pick up 3 on Ella just here on hole number 6. Kristen Tatar will be tapping in for the 3. And thank you so much for joining us. We've got plenty of action on the Disc Golf Network throughout the entire 2022 season, the home of live disc golf. Make sure you go out and subscribe today. Of course, if you're a PDGA member, you get a discount for doing so. We'll bring you exclusive early rounds for almost every single event that's going to be live this year. We know many of you are here watching on YouTube. We appreciate that as well. However, if you want to see the earlier rounds, load up that subscription to Disc Golf Network.
And what you missed was a Kristen Tatar 10 down in the first round. Kristen Tatar 6 down in the second round. I mean, there's a lot to be said for how a tournament plays out through the weekend. And it all starts with getting every round in.
Later today, we'll also have the conclusion of the MPO action. And in just a few days, we're all going to be moving over to Emporia, Kansas to bring you the Dynamic Disc Open. Here's Katrina Allen, the tee of 9. Missy Gannon first to act on 7.
There's one main tree right there that the players are trying to stay clear of or get past. That's the one main obstacle that they want to make sure that they're landing far away from to set themselves up for their second shot.
Great drive by Kristen Tatar.
That tree's about 330 feet from the tee pad. First two throwers, well past it.
And we heard Kat say she turned it. Doesn't look too punishing. She'll just have a little more of a steeper angle coming into the basket. Searching for the right word there. Here's Hella Hansen.
That was a bomb.
Now we're with Paige Pierce. She's throwing on the tee of hole number 10 as this one bends from left to right. And just a little bank off the tree should keep her with an open look to the pin. I think she's going to be giving that one a full send. As Kat's throwing her second shot on hole 9, the par 5. And thanks to VII and Diameter Apparel, we appreciate the support. Hole number 7, not only this weekend, but the entire year long on the Disc Golf Network and our Disc Golf Pro Tour. Val looking sharp in the VII Diameter shirt here in the booth, as we'll also see Nate and others. So men's, women's apparel, doesn't matter. VII and Diameter have you covered. Getting word from Nate Perkins that was a 425-foot throw for Ella Hansen.
And she was throwing uphill at that. So it all comes down to the second shot here on 7. Basket is tucked around the corner. You see the wall of trees that the players have to throw on the left-hand side and kind of bring it in. You can try and get lucky with a shortcut, but I wouldn't recommend it. So Missy, even with the opening, maybe a little bit long of the opening into the green.
May have been a grip issue, and she's also then second guessing if the forehand was the better choice, and it's certainly the more common choice if you've put yourself in this position, as we'll see from Kat Murch. Watching it bend from left to right, trying to access the green. Just do what Kat Murch did.
Yeah, that is exactly how it's done, especially when you throw your drive a little bit farther down the fairway. It's just a very sharp angle to even try and throw it Anheuser.
Somebody's closer. That will be a tap-in birdie for Kristen Tatar. That should be her third birdie of the round, as she's looking to move to 19 under. Thanks to our friends at Bushnell, we're also seeing just 125 feet to the pin. Here's Haley King from long range on hole number 10. Haley picking up 3 birdies in the last 4 holes. Near perfect approach shot there. Here's Paige Pierce. We saw the drive. Can she convert from circle 2?
Let's go, Paige. Wow.
And Paige Pierce with a clean scorecard, putting it together for round number 3. Val, what are we seeing? She's in a tie for 5th at the moment.
And what good energy out of that group. She's in the group with Holland and Haley, feeding off each other's energy.
Out in that Holland Hanley range for Missy Gannon. She's not able to convert. She'll have to settle for the par.
Ella left herself with a bit of a tester putt, even with a short approach to the basket. It's good to have a little bit of nerves going. You can make a putt confidently. Helps you. Ready for Cat Merch as well. So Missy Gannon is going to be left out of this party. And she's going to give a stroke back to her closest competitors.
She taps in. We'll see Kristen Tatar for the easy birdie. And we don't want you to go anywhere. We're just through 7 holes in our championship Sunday round. We'll be right back after a word from these sponsors.
If disc golf is your game, make Gotta Go, Gotta Throw your Disc Golf Warehouse. With a huge selection of discs, bags, baskets, carts, shirts, and more. GottaGo.GottaThrow.com has all the tools to take your game to the next level. Shop online or our Golden Valley, Minnesota store. Free shipping with all online orders over $75. Online or in-store, get what you need for the game you love. GottaGo.GottaThrow.com, your disc golf warehouse. In the game since 1993.
Katrina finishing up on the 9th hole. That is a birdie on the par 5. 2 par 5s on this course, and they cap off both of the 9s. So hole 9 par 5, and we finish the course on 18 with a par 5. '18, definitely the harder of the 2 par 5s.
A little bit more daunting as well as you're trying to close out your tournament on hole 18. But here's Kristen Tatar. That looks nearly perfect. Does it swing enough? A great shot by Kristen. Quite a contrast in how that landed. Kristen's coming in with a little bit sharper angle, gets the skip and continues, whereas you saw from Kat there, it looks like it hit and pretty much stopped right there.
And the height is so important on these sidearm shots. Height and the power continuing forward. It's 324 feet. This is full distance for most throwers. Missy Gannon opting for the backhand anhyzer. is such a fine line of how much angle to put on the disc, and if you don't put enough, it hyzers out just like that.
Hole number 10, Katrina Allen on the tee. Up ahead on 11, Pierce.
Oh, damn it.
See the slip.
And that was all the power from her legs just giving up with the slip. I am just loving these drone shots this weekend. It's a true course flyover as we're looking down on the basket of hole 8.
Yeah, and this particular angle does not do it justice how much of an incline there is from where most of those competitors and the gallery is right now up to where the basket is, and then the basket itself is sitting on a pedestal and is inclined as well. But the overall shots, yeah, love them. And Missy's had straightened out, ultimately hyzering out at the very end. So she is way off the mark, somewhere outside of circle 2 even.
We know that Missy does have a sidearm. She just might not feel confident enough in the amount of distance that she can get to this pin.
For a second.
But if you don't hit the line perfectly with the backhand, you're conceding with the par. Whereas now 3 players on her card have a chance at birdie. But it's going to take a good putt to get one.
I wanted to run it. I know you wanted to. I'm in a position to. You don't want to. Different day. Different day. I want it. I know you do.
Well, the caddy a little second guessing and saying, I want to see you run every shot. Certainly that's within Cat Merch's typical MO, but here's Ella Hansen for birdie.
Seeming like flip a coin today for Ella on the putting green and outside the circle. That one cashes in nicely.
And this is one of the few times we've seen someone at pin high or above the basket. You are typically coming in short of this one, putting somewhat uphill. Kristen Tatar actually deep of the basket, putting with what is a little bit of a downhill putt. And unfortunately doesn't connect, so she'll be walking away with a par.
In putting downhill, you never know what's going to happen if you do miss your putt. But those chains caught a lot of that power and slowed it down to drop it right next to the pin. Slam dunk.
And Kristen held back from getting to 20 under with that putt. We'll see what she can do on the next one. Here's Katrina Allen, her second shot on hole number 10. Should be an easy tap-in par for Kat.
Paige is short of ideal. She would likely rather be around the corner. That's the perfect landing zone. So now she really has to work this sidearm. She wants to get to the pin.
She needs to flex left and then fight back to the right, and this is looking phenomenal.
Happy with that one.
Sometimes Paige even impresses herself.
It's those shots that you dream up. You know that this is the perfect line to hit. And when you're not throwing sidearms all that often, it is impressive when you actually hit the line that you're thinking of.
And here's Stacy Ronsley for her par on hole number 10. It's a solid putt. We've seen a little bit of struggles from Stacy here today, so hopefully she can get everything corrected as she heads into the back nine. Here's Ella Hansen, the par 5, hole 9.
We saw Paige with the opportunity for an eagle on this hole just a bit earlier. We know Ella has the distance to give it a run herself. It's a good start.
And Nate, I'm going to ask you out on the ground. We know that they're going to have an uphill throw to a blind green. What does the footing look or feel like, or what are you projecting out there for these players on their second shots?
Yeah, Ella Hansen landed in the ideal position. If you are even with that lone tree in the fairway, you're going to have that blind hyzer testing the tree that's inside circle 2. Anything off to the right, and you might see someone take the forehand into the green.
All right, appreciate it, Nate. He's also used his Bushnell to tell us that Ella Hansen's drive was 415 feet. Pretty impressive. Here's Paige Pierce. This is for birdie.
Maybe
and
me,
so tough for her to maintain her balance being inside the circle. You saw how outstretched she was. She had to maintain the balance and couldn't fall forward there. So she will likely settle for a par. Katrina Allen just waiting for that to hook up at the end. The wind is holding it. On Hanley. That is for par on hole number 11.
Paige Pierce is sitting at 6 under for today's round. What is she shooting in total for the tournament? 7 under. She shot 1 under in the first 2 rounds combined. So finally, Paige Pierce, like I said, welcome to the party. Finally putting together a round that she can be proud of this weekend. We're going to fly over hole 9. We saw the drives. They're landing around that zone. So whether you're left or right, it's going to determine how you can approach the green. The second shot, you have to bend around that tree on the left, and it really comes down to what your putt looks like. And if you're keeping away from that guardian tree on the right-hand side, we see the shots finishing off to the left, have a bit more open look. So we will see what Ella Hansen has. She had a pretty easy chip up yesterday after a smash.
Missy with at least 350 to the pin.
Climbing uphill. It takes a lot from where Missy landed to get up and over the hill.
Still a great opportunity for her to walk away with the birdie. The question is, can Ella Hansen or anyone else possibly cash in on an eagle? Ella's second shot. Val, you surprised to see that one come up short?
I am. I was surprised that Ella's drive wasn't as far, but it really, you have to be on that hillside after your drive to really reach the basket.
Bushnell Sport providing the assist there, telling us 365. And if this just turns over to the right, it actually would have been a great roll, but it continued to stay positive and then rolled further away from the basket. Either way, Kristen Tatar will have an easy look and at minimum should be walking away with a birdie. Cat Merch sticks the landing right about at circle's edge. Paige Pierce, tee of hole number 12. That is a crush.
Thank you.
Paige is in a tie for 6, moved up 6 places today. Making moves.
Here's Katrina Allen trying to bend it from right to left. She would love either a skip, and she's not going to get it just with the angle that she had. But Katrina Allen will have an uphill putt looking for a birdie on 11. Holland Hanley on the tee of 12.
And Paige was tied with Katrina, and they're both 1 stroke back of Holland Hanley. That is how stacked these cards are.
And Holland Hanley with a very impressive drive of her own on 12. Missy Gannon, short chip shot here for her 3rd. And leaving herself in very makeable birdie range. This hole playing as one of the easiest holes on the course. In fact, I believe the last couple of days we've seen it played statistically as the easiest hole, averaging 4.33. 68% of the field have taken birdie or better. There have been 0 bogeys on this hole in the 3rd round. So opportunities to score right here on hole number 9. And Ella says, I'm not going to try and get greedy and go after the eagle. I'm just going to pitch it up, walk away with the birdie.
And this is a very fast green. Slopes away from the basket. So we know Kat had to make a decision on the last hole whether to go for it or lay up. With her just being around circle's edge, I'm interested to see what she's going to do. But first, Kristen.
And Nate has informed us this is a level putt for Kristen Tatar, and I think we're just going to see her pitch up next to the pin. So Kristen will, dare I say, settle for the birdie, as I use air quotes on that.
And the opportunity that you would hit basket and roll is very high.
And albeit inside the circle, we'll see if she's going with her own intuition or her caddy's. She's definitely going to give this a run for eagle.
There we go. First eagle that we've seen on live coverage. I think the first eagle of the tournament in the women's division.
Very impressive, Cat Merge. Missy, headwind for birdie.
You were almost doubting my stat there. With the 2 par 5s on the course, that it is the first eagle that we've seen this weekend.
I should know better. All your world titles, all your experience. Why am I doubting you? This is Stacy Ronsley for birdie on 11. Oh, and just off the top. And we're going to bring you the back 9 here on Championship Sunday on the Disc Golf Network. Don't go anywhere.
The Paul Macbeth Foundation tries to help grow disc golf in underserved areas.
I was just a little bitty boy with hopes and dreams. Then those hopes they manifested to nobody.
None of this, and I mean none of this, could be possible without just anyone that's believed in this foundation or who sees this for the first time and wants to help. Thank you to anyone who's been a part of this. This is just the beginning.
To me, Airborne is the expression of flight. That's kind of the representation of the brand that we wanted to build. The visual that we wanted to get from this stamp is the connection between man and nature, and man's connection to the natural world that people are able to find through disc golf. We wanted to have a disc that all players could trust. It'll be a great tool for a lot of players. It feels great to have Prodigy have enough trust and faith in me to make this disc for me and to make this full line, and I'm so excited to be able to share it with the whole disc golf world.
And welcome back, hole number 10, heading into the back 9. And after the eagle, Kat Murch has the honors. Kat Murch going deeper than we've seen any other tee shot on hole number 10. Unfortunately, it's not going to help her as she's laughing about it. That was too much power for Kat Murch. She went all the way down the tunnel and then out of the backside gap. I have never seen that happen.
And this hole's 360 feet.
Ella Hansen playing a little bit lower. This is also our Eric hole. Early recognition is critical. Make sure you check in and have regular doctor and physician updates annually. A good kick for Kristen Tatar, and Nate Perkins is informing us that it is going to maybe even be a tough up and down for Kat Murch after going as far deep as she did. Not enough turn. She won't be in any danger, but certainly not enough turn for Missy Gannon. That's going to leave her outside of any kind of putting range, even for the sharpshooter that she is. Here's Katrina Allen from inside the circle. Count it. Katrina Allen picking up 3 birdies in the last 5 holes. She moves to 8 down overall, and we're seeing her in a tie for 5th. Paige Pierce back up on hole 12 and just trying to place it next to the pin, avoiding any kind of disastrous rollaways. Smart play by Pierce.
Well, it's still undetermined what's going to happen for the podium spots. Kristen Tatar is still holding on so strong, but anything could happen. I mean, basically all the way down to Valerie Mondajano, all the way down there on the 3rd card. Katrina Allen, Paige Pierce, those two are making moves.
Kat clears the OB. Katrina Allen, that is, clears the OB with that tee shot on 12. Kat Murch, on the other hand, realizing she's going to have a little work to do as Kristen will pitch up next to the pin. She'll take another drop in par, keeping that clean scorecard. And Missy in a putting stance over, I think she's just trying to place it next to the pin. There's a slight decline or slope beyond that basket. So you can't get too aggressive from long range here on the green of 10, at least not from the position in which Missy was. Again, I've been here every year for Jonesboro. I have never seen someone have to approach from this backside. And looks like that should work.
Yeah, she just threw through that wall of trees like there was nothing there. This is a similar position we saw Ella in yesterday, putting for birdie. She turned it into a bogey. So hopefully she doesn't have those thoughts running through her mind. Drops right next to the basket. That will be the drop-in par.
Easy to be tentative on a putt like that, knowing of the slope, and then, like you mentioned, knowing what happened to her yesterday. So comes up short. However, today she'll have the drop-in par. After a little dancing on the rim, Kat will walk away with the par. And to see 4 pars from our lead card, not doing any damage whatsoever. It's playing as the 5th most difficult hole on the course. Just 8% of the field were able to get birdies. I feel like we saw a couple of them with our chase and our 3rd card, so not too many birdies there. Not losing ground with a par on 10. Hole 13, Paige Pierce is going to be just outside of the bullseye, looking to pick up another birdie. Katrina Allen from the left side of the fairway of 12. She's got a lot of ground to cover. Hilly green, and tough to determine if that got as far as she needed. Holland Hanley.
I won't say gotta get, but should get. This hole is very attackable off of the drives, but if you're not close enough, putting can be very tricky. Looks like park jobs from Paige and Holland.
I feel like we saw yesterday that Kat had come up short of the corner in which you need to get to on hole number 11. She's kind of in that territory, I feel like, where we just saw Paige Pierce throw her flexing forehand shot from. So likely see a little creativity out of Kat Murch. I don't think that's really a tall task for her, though. A little bit creative.
Around the corner and then some. That was a beautiful drive from Ella.
Word on the ground from Nate Perkins is perfect for Ella. And Kristen Tatar will not be disappointed with that drive.
Is down there in the opening. She's more right on the fairway than Ella is, so the angle is going to be pretty different.
A little bit sharper.
Yeah, it'll be a sharp sidearm into the green.
And somehow that looked like it filtered most of the way through the trees. It got a little bit of a kick at the end, but Missy with a misfire off on the right-hand side. Here's Holland Hanley, her birdie look on 13. Headwind putt uphill. And it catches. Holland Hanley, solid birdie on hole 13. She's only had the single blemish on hole number 1, and she is in solo possession of 5th at the moment. Katrina Allen with the pitch over to the green of 12.
Holland Hanley is, from last season, ranked 42nd in DGPT rankings. Her best finish, tied for 3rd at the Challenge at Goat Hill. 17th at Las Vegas Challenge and 14th at OTB last year.
And as we take a look at some of our biggest movers and shakers, Paige Pierce is that woman. She's up 6 positions, currently tied with Katrina Allen. Paige Pierce with that 7 under round going thus far through 13 holes. Still very close. In fact, when you're looking at all of those, everything from 8 under where Paige Pierce is, she could certainly find herself on the podium, somewhere on the podium, if she continues to make a charge. Katrina Allen and people, and Missy Gannon and the like certainly will have something to say about that. Here's Gannon just trying to make it around the corner. Well, one benefit is all the umbrellas are packed away or maybe being only used as walking sticks, which is great to see. And I'm not afraid to say I may have had a missed call there. Perkins, can you tell us about the angle that Kristen has? And I'm expecting a forehand, but how sharp will that angle have to be?
Yeah, you said it, Terry. It's going to have to be really sharp. She pushed that Grace just too straight into the headwind. Not only is it a sharp angle, but she has a right to left that is really hurting her chances to get back and in and circle.
And you're seeing the shot live, and yeah, with that right to left while throwing the forehand, fighting against it the entire way. So she's going to be in circle 2. One would have to think she could just pitch it next to the pin and drop it in, walk away with the par. She doesn't need to be aggressive, and then bring the potential for a rollaway into play there. Not in this scenario with the scores where they're at.
This is fun. It's fun. Yep, super fun time.
We saw Paige do it.
I feel like Paige could have left her mini there, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Who does it better?
The angle looked good out of her hand, but it came out a little bit too early. It's going to be inside circle 2.
And a nearly perfect drive followed up by a very, very solid approach shot there by Ella Hansen. We're going to take another look and roll that Zuka replay. But first, we're going to take a little break so we can take in some doggy action. Gannon in position to save the par. And Val, as we're heading here into 11, I'm looking at what Kristen Tatar has done in the previous few days on the front nine, and just, as you would expect, very consistent, hovering right around 4 or 5 under in her first 9 or 10 holes or so, and that's the exact pace that she's on here today. So no real big surprises by Kristen Tatar.
And every approach, she gets it as close to the basket. That's what you want to see. You don't need to give yourself a tester putt. You don't need to leave anything up for chance. She's just playing her game, making it easy on herself.
Yeah, really, there's something to be said about stress-free, whether it's for birdie or for par, but just stress-free, getting it close, having that easy tap in and not even having to think about it. Meanwhile, Missy Gannon having to do a little bit of work, but she'll walk away from hole 11 with the par. Left side corner pocket for Ella Hansen. And she picks up another birdie. That's 4 birdies in the last 5 holes. And with the birdie that we saw from Ella Hansen, she is pulled into a tie with Kat Murch for 3rd place. They sit at 11 under. Missy one ahead of them at 12. And up ahead on 14, Paige Pierce.
The wind is just not helping any drives, especially ones that want to be aggressive and throw over the out of bounds. On 14.
And a park job for Katrina Allen, hole 13, bumping up against the pole koozie.
Talk about stress-free.
Holland Hanley is going to be on the short left side of hole number 14. Still in a position to cross over the OB, possibly walk away with the birdie 3. This hole 14 plays as a long downhill, and right now you're seeing hole number 12 in the center of your screen. That plays from right to left as you're looking at the screen. Kristen Tatar sitting on a very comfortable lead, 8 strokes. Opened the day with 7, has extended now to 8.
Like we've been mentioning, stress-free. Nobody is putting pressure on her. She's just playing a casual round with her group. As we fly over hole 12, starts off with a big booming drive. There is an out-of-bounds creek that we now see in the screen as Ella smashes one across the way. But it comes down to the second shot on this one. We haven't seen too many players put themselves in the position to birdie this hole. In pristine conditions, it is absolutely an option.
Big crush by Kat Murch. Kristen, nice solid drive as you would expect. Perkins telling us Kristen's drive, 405 feet. Solid drive as well for Missy Gannon. Nice drive. Now let's break it down, Val. What are you seeing here by Kristen Tatar?
It is just so much fun to watch Kristen Tatar throw because every time that she throws, it is the same. She repeats the same motions. She keeps everything on simple angles and follows through on that same line. She mentioned in the first round that she's been throwing a lot of overstable discs out on this course and committing to the angle that she's releasing on. Her form is very compact and powerful, and she puts her whole body behind every throw.
And the speed in which she rips through, and like you said, that consistency is there. I feel like if we're watching that as opposed to a year ago or 3 years ago or in 3 years, it's going to look almost identical every single time. She's found a way to somehow repeat it time and time again, and that's what continues to lead to that consistency we're seeing. And a big shout out to our friends over at Ideo Footwear. They have provided disc golf shoes and continue to develop within the market, and great supporters of the Disc Golf Pro Tour, also supporting pros and sponsored players alike. We appreciate everything they're doing as we see Holland Hanley with a great second shot, putting herself just short of the pin, looking for a birdie on hole number 14. Missy Gannon had a 370-foot drive. Now playing to the blind uphill green on 12. Just a little bit short. And knowing there's such a steep slope behind, Nate Perkins is informing us that that was a putter by Missy. Just knowing when she gets up to the basket, she wants to slow down almost immediately. You throw something sharp edge, not only does it have the chance to skip, but if it doesn't skip, it could get up on edge and then just roll. A much higher likelihood of that happening with a driver as opposed to a putter.
And Ella kept that low enough. I wasn't sure. It looked like an extreme angle out of her hand. The green slopes from left to right. And so anything, a sidearm maybe a little bit too sharp or an Anheuser shot that has a little bit too much air underneath it could send it sailing down the hill.
That's short for Cat Merch.
It's a good looking up shot there from Kristen. She is the one that has the most confident look at her birdie putt.
And Paige Pierce had gone out of bounds on her tee shot. That's her second shot, so after the penalty stroke, she'll be able to tap in and walk away with the par on hole 14. Great recovery by Pierce there.
And that also keeps her scorecard clean. No bogeys yet today for Paige. And the only other player that I'm quickly seeing without bogeys on their scorecard is Kristen Tatar, our leader. It's tough to get through this course unscathed. We've seen Kristen at least get 1, 2 bogey strokes in the previous rounds. Just a very challenging course. When you're playing aggressive, it's likely you're going to find some trouble.
And a very disciplined Ella Hansen says, I'm not messing with the wind, the slope, rollaways, air balls. I'm not messing with any of that. I'm going to put it underneath the basket and walk away with the par. Here's Missy Gannon, though. She's lining up a birdie. What's to be said about that confidence, Val?
Missy is here to play. With the scores so stacked up, you need that one player who is willing to put up the risk, willing to do the aggressive shot for a chance.
Kristen picks up the birdie here on 12. Great positioning off the tee, a solid approach shot, and closest to the pin for her birdie look, and she takes advantage. Kristen Tatar moves to 21 under. Here's Paige Pierce, the tee of 15. She doesn't like it. That's because it is short and left for Pierce. We'll see if she has a uphill look at birdie still. Katrina Allen lays up onto the hillside and then executes a perfect second shot. Very short look for birdie on 14 for Katrina Allen. Holland Hanley, the tee of 15.
It's another, I wouldn't say gotta get, but should get birdie. Big hyzer to an elevated basket. That looks a little wide. See, Missy Gannon now 2-stroke cushion between her and third place. Currently tied Ella Hansen and Kat Murch at 11 under. But Holland, from the chase card, is creeping in. That's a position you want to be in. You want to be ready. You want to be playing well just in case the lead card starts to slip. You want to be there to take that podium finish.
Tatar on the tee of 13. Tatar now on the green of 13. Good angle from that position for Kristen. Inside the circle, another birdie opportunity. Here's Missy Gannon. Missy a little bit short. Nate, I feel like so many of the shots out here are short or right of the basket. Is that angle or is that wind that's fighting against them on the tee here on hole number 13?
It is a little bit of the wind. They're playing into a headwind left to right, but it's just tough to climb this hill. It's hard to tell on camera how steep of a hill it is here.
We saw Ella Hansen go deep. We'll see if Kat Murch can dial it back just a little bit. We know she's got plenty of power as well. It looked like she almost skipped off of Kristen Tatar's disc, and she's going to have closest to the pin. Rightful fist bump. And she's got a short look at birdie here on 13. We're going to take another look at it. And tough to see. It look like it might have caught the edge of the disc, if not very close. Either way, she'll take the forward progress. And Kat with a very short birdie look. Such a positive energy, of course, that we've experienced in talking with and seeing Kat Murch this weekend. A little extra excitement playing in front of your home state crowd. I believe she said she was about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes from here is where she grew up and was playing. Firm bid by Missy Gannon coming up short.
After watching a couple of rounds of Kat Murch here on the lead card, I've learned not to talk just in case she has something witty or funny to say. I mean, I'm just waiting for her reality show to drop. She is entertaining.
Maybe she'll take some of that inspiration. Nate Perkins informed us that Kat Murch has been seen out here journaling either just before or maybe even during her rounds. We use that as a little bit of a script possibly. And Ella Hansen has gone deep and is leaving herself with a very tough look. This is going to essentially just be a pitch to get back to the pin. Slight left to right wind for Kristen Tatar, maybe coming over her left shoulder. Tatar for birdie.
You can come out of there if you want, Ella. Out of the place. Yeah, get out of the seat.
So no letting up for Kristen. She just simply didn't convert on that one. However, Kat Murch does. And that brings Kat Murch to 12 under par. Just one stroke behind Missy Gannon. Off in the distance just behind that view there, that's actually hole 17 that kind of plays and wraps around the backside of hole 13. Be there in a little while. Katrina Allen for birdie. Circle's edge, hole 15. A must-get birdie hole.
Three out of the last 3 holes, Katrina Allen for birdie. She's now tied with Ella Hansen in 4th place.
We have absolutely no idea where the podium and the spots just off the podium are going to land. A constant battle here today. So many women playing well, and now they're heading into the teeth of hole number 14. This is a tall task at 520 feet, Val.
It is, and you have the choice whether you go for the shot over that out of bounds, that tall grass area, or you lay up. And we see most players lay up. Only a few. We've seen Paige, we've seen Kat Murch, and we've seen Ella go for it. But we'll see what the wind's doing today. Then it's all about getting that second shot close to get a birdie. Kat made it on the first day. Just short on the second day.
And today it looks like she's going to be out of bounds. That was a little bit nose up. Perkins, talk to us about not only seeing Kat go after it, but what exactly are they facing? Is it the same conditions as previous days?
There's actually a little bit less wind than Friday and Saturday. Kat had the pace there. She just got the nose up, and you could see it stall as it started to come back.
And can you confirm that was out of bounds then?
Kat was out of bounds. She's going to be throwing her 3rd shot from before the creek.
All right, thank you so much. And that's exactly where we find Missy Gannon and Kristen Tatar, just short of the creek. They're both in bounds. We'll see if Ella Hansen, and she is certainly giving it a big pull. That, of course, was a play on her ultimate career there, Val. And no problem clearing Ella Hansen. Left-hand side. Great shot. She'll have a little work to do to get up and down, but she should be able to give herself a look for birdie 3. Holland Hanley over on the tee of 16. And almost putting it right on the drop zone tee pad. That is a perfect shot for Holland Hanley.
And this is a great view over top of hole 14. You can see on the right-hand side where Kat Merch was trying to throw the more direct route to the pin, that out-of-bounds area is much wider. You have to carry over the out-of-bounds even longer. If you go off to the left, it's a little bit shorter and you can get to the safe side a little bit easier.
And Valerie Mondajano also, like we just saw from Katrina Allen, has picked up the last 3 birdies in a row. So I'm sure she's battling back and forth as well, not only with the rest of the field, but her sister, who she is playing alongside with, Alexis.
Missy is aiming for those flanners that you can see in the top right of the screen. That is the entry into the green. A little early, but looks like she punches out on the front side. And if I'm not mistaken, I think if Ella could get a window, she could be putting for eagle. I think she made it that far down the fairway.
Yeah, I just worry about the obstruction between her and the basket. We'll check in with Perkins on that in a moment. First, we're going to see Kristen Tatar. That's also coming in a little bit short and early and doesn't punch through like we saw by Missy Gannon. So an errant throw by Kristen. We'll have to see just how punishing it really is, though. A moment ago, we saw the consistency out of Val Mondajano. She's currently in 8th place. However, she is in threat of finishing outside of the top 5 in back-to-back weekends for the first time since doing so last year with D-Glow and World. So she's just proven to be so consistent on the tour. Obviously having a great start here to the 2022 campaign. But just going to need to pick a few things up here this Championship Sunday if she wants to get inside the top 5.
She's starting to. A few holes left, 3 holes to be exact.
And let's check in with Nate Perkins. Nate, what do the players have remaining? Does Ella actually have a shot at eagle, or is there just too much woods between her and the pin?
Well, what a drive from Ella Hansen, displaying her power. She's nearly pin high, but I don't believe that she's going to have a clean look at eagle here.
All right, and let's just hope, even if it's not a clean look, let's hope she at least has the easy opportunity to get up and down to walk away with the birdie.
Yeah, so right there looks like a good spot.
And what they're discussing is the casual water that's on the course and as to where Ella can take it without any penalties. And Val, anything but a clean look here. We hear from Nate that that's almost pin high.
And forget throwing it in, just try and get it near the basket.
Or ricochet off something, and ultimately that will check up, and Ella Hansen will have an inside the circle putt looking for a birdie.
I do remember in previous years, and what makes this hole so special to me and so fun to watch is that these big throwers can get this close to have a chance at eagling. I know Paige in the past has done it quite a few times. This hole's 520 feet. Of course, that downhill, sloping all the way to the basket. Makes it seem a little bit closer, but it's an absolute smash if you're near and putting at the basket.
As you can see, Kristen not able to give that a run. She's just looking for a place to lay up to. From there, she'll have the short tap in, keeping that scorecard clean, trying to walk away with a par and remain at 21 under. Also, what could be an 8-stroke advantage. Gannon for birdie. Good bid. Maybe just a little too much obstruction there to distract her. And Ella could have done without the roll that she received. She landed just a few feet from the pin. Now she has a tester.
Off the front of the cage, flares out. That was going to be such a huge opportunity for Ella to gain some strokes on Kat Murch, who will be dropping that in for a bogey on this hole.
And in the meantime, Kristen just maintaining.
Ella still gets 1 stroke on Kat Murch, now in tie for 3rd, along with Katrina Allen.
We're going to rejoin Holland Hanley. Arguably one of the best tee shots you could ever ask for that she's throwing from her right here. And then throws the best possible approach shot you could ask for. Holland Hanley dialed on hole number 16. And that short forehand by Katrina Allen might cost her a stroke just to pitch up to the drop zone. Paige Pierce for par on hole number 16. Again, keeping the scorecard clean.
It's so funny how you could play in one round compared to the next. What an improvement for Paige in this 3rd round.
And Kristen Tatar, who's had to make circle edge putts twice now here on hole number 15. Once for par, once for birdie. So I'm not even going to mess with that. I'm just going to have the slam dunk, and that is a birdie for Kristen Tatar. She's moving to 22 under par.
Count it. Unless she bangs her head on the basket or something.
She'd find a way to still put it in as she was falling. She's that good. Here's Missy Gannon trying to follow that up. Solid effort there by Missy Gannon. All right. Making hole 15 look pretty easy here, Val.
I was thinking that was tracking for the basket. Perfect height, perfect angle. Well, I guess it could have been a little higher, and that would have been in.
Kat Murch drawing medal here on hole number 15. And these guys are just annihilating hole 15, trying to rack up 4 birdies or maybe 3 birdies and an ace. We're going to take another look at it. Kat Murch rolling that Zuka replay.
This will now be the 3rd basket hit We've seen a couple flags, and now we've seen the pyramid. I guess we haven't seen the basket actually get hit, but that's 3 near ace runs in this tournament. I'm waiting for something to drop, but that could have been our last opportunity. Yeah, we finished this course with 2 par 4s on 16 and 17, and then the par 5 on 18. So chances for eagle, I guess, from the fairway.
And this is the best group of drives we've seen here on 15 this weekend. Everybody well inside the circle. And a couple just near tap-ins. Ella Hansen to act first. Trying to get the birdie train started here.
She's happy about that, as she should be.
You can never be mad about a birdie, right? Quick work for Missy Gannon as well. I think we're going to see some flair. What does she have? Just a little push in for Kat Murch and Kristen Tatar with the 1-foot tap in, and so incredible. They play at 4 under. They'll walk up the hill to the tee of 16, and this is Katrina Allen. We saw her tee shot come in short, then she had to pitch down to this position, and now she's throwing her 3rd shot, trying to save a par here on hole 16.
Gorgeous. And that's the thing, on 16, you have to put yourself in a good placement before you can throw over the water. And we see a variety of shots from the tee pad, and we like to see the shots finish off to the right. So we do see a lot of pitch out sidearms, but there's a slope, there's a hillside that you don't want to land on. Flat footing would be ideal. And then the second shots, or maybe third, go over the water. You have to fight your way through these pine trees, climb up that short embankment, and get yourself up to this flat level area. It's a challenging hole, but it all comes down to how you're placed and what your footing's like and how aggressive that you could be.
And Valerie Mondajano basket hunting from the landing zone down there on 15. Incredible shot there. Correction, 16. As we're taking a live overview look, this is exactly the pond that they're throwing over. They threw previously from left to right on hole number 6 at the bottom of your screen, and then in the middle of it they're throwing now from right to left for hole number 16. We'll see where Kristen Tatar can place herself on the tee shot, and that's just to the right of perfect. Pretty close.
She is just 5 feet from the pond, maybe 10 feet from the pond. So pushing it as close to that out of bounds as she could.
And as long as this can check up.
Dang. It was what she planned, it's what she dreamed up, but she's going to be disappointed to find out what happened. A lot of action. But I think that really helped Ella's positioning.
It certainly did. That extra 20 or 25 feet of roll couldn't have been better. That was perfect for Ella Hansen. Also off to that right side, as Nate Perkins had informed us, Kristen is in an almost identical spot to where she was yesterday. So certainly familiar with the area. We'll see what she can do as she has to throw over the pond. Here's Alexis Mondajano. And that is for a birdie.
Alexis has dropped down 4 places today. She's tied for 11th. And in the Mondajano battle, Valerie is in a tie for 7th. 4 strokes separating those 2 placements. So this is a big chance for Kat Murch and Ella Hansen to gain some strokes on Missy, knowing that Missy unfortunately got the roll into the lake and she's going to be out of bounds. We're running out of holes here, Terry. So you need to get the strokes when you can, and so hopefully they can get some focus and get a stroke back.
Well, we're going to see a little, position swapping possibly, depending on how Missy can get up and down, as you're saying. But first we have Kat Murch. She's going to stand still, not taking any run up. Not sure she really has the room to do so. She's going to give herself a few extra inches there, it looks like, by marking her disc.
Can she get the full reach back? That is going to be the biggest question. How much power can she get behind the throw to make sure she's getting it over the water?
And you see a full commit there.
Incredible shot.
And a very deserving sigh of relief for Kat Murch. As you said, that was just incredible. Now, Kristen Tatar next to throw. She would love to match what she just saw from Kat. However, that's pushing right. And it stays safe. It's going to be on the embankment. She'll likely have a obstructed putt. However, she is safe and on the other side of the pond. Outstretched Ella Hansen, ready to throw a forehand.
Air over the trees and spikes down right next to the pin.
Okay.
Ella's on the left-hand side of the fairway, and so she just had a completely different way to attack the pin than we saw from Kristen or Kat.
So Missy Gannon heading to the drop zone. Fiance Tom will double check with the Bushnell Sport rangefinder with the accessory skin that you can purchase as well to color them up. Of course, you can find those on dgpt.com/shop. Here's Gannon with her third shot. I don't have words, Val. The approach shots that we've seen, whether they've been forehand or backhand, and whether it's been this card or the previous card, they're making it look so incredibly easy. And that is Blaine from GK Pro, not only incredible cameraman and post-production channel and one of our gracious cameramen, but also with the assist. Putting that monopod to great use. We've done plenty of that. Here's Holland Hanley. You need to come in short on the approach here on 17. Hit the front side of the hill and then let it skip to the pin to coming in right at the pin. That was the mistake Holland made. But right now we are seeing the hot rounds presented to us by 1010 Disc. Holland Hanley doesn't need any of my advice from the booth. She's sitting 7 under along with Paige Pierce. The 2 hottest rounds out there right now. Kristen Tatar, you see our leader sitting at 6 under for the round. Very consistent with what we've seen from her the previous 2 rounds. But now Holland has some work to do.
And I was mentioning her stats from last season, 46th in DGPT Tour rankings. This year, she's moved up to 20th. She's had some great finishes, 8th at Las Vegas Challenge, 5th at the Open at Belton, and currently in 5th right now, so we'll see how she finishes.
Here's Kristen Tatar for birdie. Continue the excellence that she's brought in rounds 1 and 2, and with that, Kristen Tatar, I believe, will move to 23 under.
And she ties up the hot round of the day. Both Kat and Ella make up a stroke on Missy here. So now they're both just 1 stroke back of Missy in 2nd place.
Also giving themselves a little bit more distance from Katrina Allen and Holland Hanley, along with Valerie Mondajano and Paige Pierce. And speaking of Valerie, here she is with her tee shot, hole 17. Anything near that 250-foot marker will put you into a good position. She's on that high side. Here's her sister, Alexis Mondajano. And she'll have a light turnover from left to right for her approach. Here's Katrina Allen in that log jam in a tie for 7th, correction, tie for 5th. And she'll have to get creative from that short right side. Kristen Tatar now a 9-stroke lead with just 2 holes left to play.
And you were getting fumbling on your words, talking about all the ties. I mean, all the way down to 9th place. Everyone is tied and switching and moving.
Missed an opportunity, Val, there. I was being tongue-tied, I think is what we were seeing.
I just lobbed it up for you, Terry.
Katrina Allen with the pitch. She'll have a little work to do for the birdie. Coming in hot. And it can get a little congested and wooded back there. We'll see what she has left for the putt. And Ella Hansen is going to run up ahead, as this is a blind tee shot here on 17. I think she'll soon find that she'll be ready to go. Just as soon as our spotter thinks that the chase card has cleared away far enough. Stacy Ronsley. Sets up so well for a forehand. I like that she comes in short. She's going to try and skip it up to the pin. She needs a little bit more power.
And where Stacy was taking her shot from, she is just within a couple meters of the barbed wire fence on the left-hand side. So that is the biggest danger for these players on their tee shots. You want to make sure that you're punching it out, getting a good amount of distance on the drive, but not allowing it to fade, not throwing something too overstable where you're finding that fence. We're going to take a fly-over look at it. You need to stay in the middle. I think that is the key here. We've seen players overturn it and you end off to the right. I'm talking about the left as well as out of bounds. Landing in the middle in the perfect zone sets you up for this straight second shot toward the pin as it doglegs to the right. It's a sloping green and it can play very fast, so players need to be cautious of how much speed they're putting behind their disc as they approach.
And Kristen Tatar coming off back-to-back birdies on 15 and 16.
You could certainly keep it going.
She's going to come up towards the edge of the fence, but well in bounds.
And it doesn't seem like it, but you are throwing uphill on your drive. So players are throwing it a little bit higher than they normally would. And Ella crests a hill and she smashes it. I'll be interested to see how that lines up with the second part of the fairway.
Also pushing toward the left side OB fence line, but safe. I've checked in with Nate Perkins. He said he's safe as well, that Ella's drive almost knocked his head off. So coming in hot, needless to say. There's Missy Gannon trying to hold on to that second place position. And on the green here of 17, this is for her 5th straight birdie. Oh, draws metal. So Valerie will have to settle for the par. And a very good string of birdies there. Now, hole 18 will loom for Valerie. The par 5. We'll see what she can do, and then she'll have to turn around and sit back and just watch as the lead card comes down the fairway of 18 eventually. This is Katrina Allen for birdie. We saw a little extra roll at the end of that. That's when those trees and everything behind the basket can come into play. So it's not just so much the slope and the downhill angle or the hill in which the basket sits on. It's that if you get the roll away, you're likely obstructed coming back. So it's almost a double punishment. Think back to, as we're watching Alexis tap in, think back to hole 14 at Champions Cup. There's a downhill putt there. It's often that you're going for it, and when you do so, if you go too deep, the comebacker is almost impossible. And Katrina did miss the comebacker, so that was a tap in for bogey for Katrina Allen.
Katrina hasn't. She had another bogey in her round today, but that was all the way back on hole 4. She now sits at a 10 under par. Just off of our leaderboard there at the bottom of the screen. She's just 1 stroke back of Holland Hanley.
And even with that bogey, she maintains a 2-stroke advantage over Paige Pierce, who has had a great round going, but has slowed down and has picked up 4 pars in the last 4 holes. So Paige Pierce heading over to hole 18. As of right now, it looks like a 6th, 7th place finish. That's somewhere in the neighborhood of where Pierce will likely end up.
I wasn't sure the wind was blowing much when we just played hole 16, but now it's apparent that the wind is blowing here. Tailwind off the tee pad, now right to left for Missy Gannon's throw.
This needs to come in short and then skip to the pin ideally. It sits down right away, so she'll have almost the exact same putt that we just saw from Katrina Allen, and the same danger will obviously loom.
Thinking about the putt she hit on 12. More dramatic slope behind the basket, more risk. So I'm feeling like Missy Gannon, if she's got the chance to go for a putt, no matter how risky it is, today she's going for them. We'll see.
That's that danger zone. She'll likely have a look from there. It will probably be somewhat obstructed. And, of course, sitting on the lead that she is, she's maybe not quite as worried as some of our other competitors would be. Holland Hanley somehow staying clean and making it through on 18's tee shot. Seems very accepting of that throw. Here's Paige Pierce. That's laced. No better way to put it. That is perfect position, great distance. Paige Pierce executing on the tee of 18. Ella Hansen trying to come up just short. She's going to be the similar distance and range that we find Kristen Tatar. We're going to take another look at it. I would love for it just to come in a few feet shorter, that hit the hill earlier rather than hitting right at the basket, because then it just accelerates and carries down the backside slope.
Or just a couple feet higher and maybe to the left, and the basket stops it.
If the basket gets in the way, that would have been a good thing for her as well. And Perkins is telling us that she will have a window, as in Kristen Tatar, but both of them will have a look, try and make that birdie putt.
And I think Ella was spraying her disc down with maybe alcohol or something. I heard that there might be some poison ivy out on the course. And getting that close to the fence, there's certainly a lot growing.
Well, and I think another thing that we've seen is ticks. Ticks have been a real challenge out on this course, and often I've seen people posting about it each night to make sure that they check themselves for ticks. I've offered tick checks at various tournaments, but usually I don't have a lot of people take me up on those.
We'll just let silence take care of that one.
Kristen Tatar for birdie.
And for Kristen, the mindset is just get through the round. I've done the work. There's not many holes left, not many throws left. This tournament is well within her grasp. She just has to finish.
Moan of the crowd says it all. Just left for Missy Gannon.
Ella Hansen sitting just one stroke back of Missy. Here's the opportunity to take it back with the birdie putt.
Really no better way to word it, Val. You said it was an opportunity for Ella, and unfortunately she's just going to tap in for the par. She's going to remain at 13 under. Kristen taps in for the par, as will Missy Gannon. And a week ago at the Champions Cup, Paige Pierce with a deficit going into hole number 18. Deficit to Kristen Tatar, that is. There was an incredible tee shot, putting herself in great position. Kristen's leaks off to the right-hand side. She needed that putt for the win. And it catches edge and rolls to about circle's edge. Kristen Tatar doesn't make the comebacker to force the playoff. All well, Paige Pierce is able to go out with her 17th major this weekend. You think 7 days later, little redemption for Kristen Tatar, and she does so in incredible fashion. Just the domination that she's had from day one at this tournament, proving she's one of the best players in the world. And here she is with a massive margin as she heads into the 54th hole of the tournament. Kristen Tatar ready to hoist the trophy here at the Jonesboro Open.
And the wins you get in disc golf certainly pad your confidence, pad your pocket, you get a little bit more money. But the losses and those close calls, that's what fuels the fire. That's what keeps you coming back, trying to be a better player than you were yesterday. Kristen just bouncing back this weekend even stronger.
Watching our chase card tee off on hole number 18. Down the middle as it's drifting to the right. And Katrina Allen likes it. That's a solid tee shot. Paige Pierce up ahead here on 18. And trying to close out strong. Pierce and Allen, your only two previous champions here in Jonesboro, and a new name ready to be etched onto the trophy. Kristen Tatar, a 9-stroke lead heading into our final hole. But first we have Holland Hanley, who has just joined the tour in the last couple of years. This is for birdie on 18. We thought she was going to end it with fireworks.
Whoever sees the match first takes this card and then puts the next card out. That makes sense? No. Like rummy? So like, here's our cards. Okay. You find the match. Yeah. Whatever it is. Music thing. I'll take that and then put the next one in. Okay. Okay? Yeah. Everybody ready? Yes. Yeah. Want to play? That's okay. I don't know the game. So. You just find the match and say it, and then take the card. What? You can watch.
Does it spot it, if I recall?
You can get this. Ready, set, go. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. Dig it. Golf one. Wait. No, I'm not going to say anything. Art. You got it.
We've seen that played before, I think back to Portland Open last year. I think it was one of the first times we saw that busted out during a backup. And it's perfect because that game is just about the size of a hockey puck, maybe a little bit bigger, so not much bigger than a mini, really. So very easy to carry along with you. Now, I'll quickly go back. Sitting on the grass in that area, again, without trying to sound weird, you have to be very conscious of the ticks that are out there. It has been a significant problem at this course throughout the years. So I'm going to rejoin Katrina Allen on 18.
Clover. Zebra. Lips. Lips. Cat. Nice. Cat. Heart. Nice. Canada.
I appreciate the
Nice.
zoom in. I wanted to be a part of this game as well. Ah, now I see. Now I see how that's played. Alexis Mondajano taking the right route on the second part of the fairway. It is a little bit more open on that side. You don't have to deal with the low ceiling, but you can certainly bring in the out of bounds. Once you get closer to the basket, you have out of bounds on either side of the pin, and then it wraps around circle's edge behind the basket.
And if he's still out there, and maybe he's playing the game, I'm not sure, but if we have Nate Perkins out there, Nate, we've come to a little bit of a delay here. What are we seeing on the fairway of hole 18 or up on the tee?
I mean, it's not uncommon for there to be a backup here on 18, as it is still playing as the most difficult hole on the course, and the wind has really started to pick up again, and it's that same right to left wind which makes this tee shot all the more difficult because you have that OB fence along the left side of the fairway.
You see a dejected Stacy Ronsley, a little bit frustrated with her efforts out here today.
Light bulb.
Light bulb.
Pencil. Ice cube.
I've played that game with my kids. It's a lot of fun, actually. Here we are. Let's take a look. Kristen Tatar's not playing any games here. She's ready to take it down. What do they need to do on 18, Val?
Starts with the drive, and you can just see how tight and narrow that first part of this hole is. You have to hit the line perfectly. Something that finishes off to the right is going to keep you more safe. Here's the route that we saw Alexis throwing out and wide and around. And then we have out of bounds as we get closer to the pin. Climbing back in elevation, so I expect it to be pretty windy around the basket. The challenge on the green, you don't want to be on the left-hand side. We see there's some branches that overhang. It makes putts very difficult. And with how tight the battle is, a stroke can make all the difference in how these players are finishing this tournament. The placement on every one of these shots down the 18th fairway is going to be important for Ella Hansen. Kat Murch. Can Missy Gannon hold on to that second place spot? For other players like Kristen Tatar, just throw it down the middle. Make it easy on yourself.
As Kristen Tatar hits the 400-foot marker, and is it me or is that's the first time we've seen one of those hit this weekend?
Yeah, the wind just smacked it down too. I think on a regular flight it'd be tough to hit. Wind turns that over for Ella. I think she might be blocked in those trees. Kat, on the other hand, leaving it nice and high, but will the finish keep her in bounds? It does. Once the discs are crossing that valley, the wind is doing some crazy things to affect its flight. Missy Gannon has a great drive on this one. More open than the rest of the competitors. See what her angle looks like.
And we're going to take a look at the final drive here by Kristen. And honestly, that's a great deflection. There's so many things that could happen from that, including that still being possibly in her run-up or her stance. But she hits it, it moves forward, and all in all, no harm, no foul there for Kristen Tatar. And that marker indicates 400 feet left to the pin. So if we do some quick math, we can tell you she's less than 400 feet to the pin.
That's all the math I want to do.
And for birdie, Katrina Allen finishing out. That's the bounce back after the bogey on 17. She currently sits in a tie for 5th. Katrina Allen racking up plenty of birdies today. Here's Stacy Ronsley. And I think we'll find on Stacy's social media post later that she'll probably admit to being a little bit of a rough day, but certainly some lessons learned being in the spotlight and where she was today. Solid performance throughout this weekend. She'll finish in a tie for 12th or somewhere in that neighborhood. Her previous best was 13th. We talked about that at the top of the show. So she has improved by 1.
That's quick math.
That's what I'm here for. Here's Ella Hansen. Patent pending stance. And great control. Great angle. Tough to generate a lot of power when you're stretched out that much, but really impressive shot there by Ella Hansen.
Everyone on our card, if everyone finishes with a par, they will maintain their place.
Yeah, that's good.
Missy Gannon with her second shot.
That'll work. There's certain goals of how far you want to be on your drive and how far you want to be on your second shot. And I would say near and around that tree is ideal.
Proving she can go backhand off the tee, forehand for the approach. She's got every tool required out here. Kristen Tatar looking to pick up her 66th win in 125 events played. She has an average of finishing first or second. Well, 1.9 I believe is the exact number. 1.9 is her average finishing stance when she's playing in an event. Pretty incredible. Play that many events and to know that you're likely taking first or second. I believe she's only finished outside of the top 5 once in her FPO career.
And that statistic that we told, I believe, in round 2, when Kristen Tatar has the hot score after round 1, she goes on to win the tournament. So that stat is still true this weekend.
It will remain intact.
Hot score every round. We'll see how she finishes up. Ella's third throw, I think barely making it to the top of the hill.
Yeah, hold up.
So Ella's set up to get a par on this one. Won't help her gain strokes. I think Missy is still in a great position to maybe attack for birdie if she can get this next shot underneath the basket, but certainly would expect Missy to come away with a par. Again, nothing should be taken for granted with the wind, with the out of bounds, with nerves as we finish up on 18.
Gannon has a clean swing.
Leaves it well short.
Extreme angle coming out there for Kat Mertsch. And unfortunately, she's going to get the red flag.
Wow. What a turn of events. The ball was just in Kat's court for her to make the decision, throw it underneath the basket, get the birdie, take solo third place. Now she's out of bounds. That wind is proving to be a huge factor.
I was just thinking whatever wind had calmed down earlier is certainly returned, as we're taking a look at as our tournament director, Brad, works so hard to bring this course to fruition, and then also this tournament year after year. Just one of the greatest TDs out there, ready to award the trophy. Ella Hansen. An incredible performance here this weekend. She has that final putt remaining for par. And this is Missy Gannon. This is for birdie.
That will do it for Missy. She'll be able to tap in for par and solidify the second place finish. A well-fought battle for Missy. I mean, that was the true story in this final round. Who was going to climb up that leaderboard, get the second place? Who's going to finish on the podium? Because it was almost apparent Kristen Tatar was going to continue that incredible lead that she had built in the first two rounds.
Ella Hansen for par and outright third place. Jonesboro Open champion, Kristen Tatar.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 Play It Again Sports Jonesboro Open presented by Prodigy champion, Kristen Tatar.
Okay. Kristen, congratulations on a commanding victory. Tell us how you're feeling right now.
Feeling great. I've been playing well all weekend, and it's always fun to play well.
So can you help us understand what it's like to come into the lead with 7 strokes during the final round?
Well, in disc golf, everything can happen, so I never think about, like, oh my gosh, I have so many strokes. I can, like, do whatever I want. I just follow my game plan. Doesn't matter, like, which position I'm in, so, yeah, just follow my game plan.
And can you also help us understand what it takes to come back after such a difficult loss in dramatic fashion last week, to come back and win by this big of a margin?
Yeah, I think I have a short memory. It happened. There was nothing I could do about it. It was sad for a moment. I cried a little bit, and then I forgot about it.
Wow. Only 2 bogeys on the weekend, and one of them was a rollaway during round 1. How do you keep it so clean out there?
Yeah, I was driving very well. I think first round I was at least inside circle 2 on every hole. So yeah, I gave myself a lot of opportunities, and it was just, I was feeling well, yeah.
So you've got one more Pro Tour next weekend in DDO, and it looks like you're taking the month of May off.
Yes, just taking some time off to be at home, maybe compete at some of the local tournaments. Yeah, it's tough on the road all the time.
So I overheard a fan say that you are the warrior princess of disc golf. And due to your poise and confidence, I can't say I disagree. What do you have to say about that?
Well, thank you. I just think I'm a regular person. Just, I'm focused on myself, and I love disc golf, and just do what I love, yeah.
Well, congratulations on the victory, and we can't wait to watch you compete next weekend in Kansas.
Thank you so much.
Would you mind signing? Looks like Missy shoes are on. Are they? Thank you so much.
Of course, congratulations yet again to Kristen Tatar. My one quick reaction to that would be she is anything but a regular person. Val, she said it. She has a short memory coming off the heartbreaking major loss. You've been there before. What can you make of what Kristen just did this weekend?
It is incredible to see, and I think that's what makes the best golfers, disc golfers, short memory. Forget about what just happened and focus on what is ahead of you, and that's exactly what she did this weekend. That's what she did coming into every round. And what I find so interesting, you know, she's having fun, she's enjoying what she's doing out on the course, but it's not often that you see her smile. She is so focused the entire time. But when she gets the job done, big smile, raising the trophy, and what a fight she put up this weekend. And with how well she was playing, it was near impossible for anybody to even come close, which is awesome.
And as Nate said, it was in commanding fashion. We're going to watch some Kristen Tatar highlights. We're going to break down the weekend. We're going to have our OTB after show along with the only the best shot of the day. All of that and more on the other side of this commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hey.
Hey everyone, I'm Katrina Allen and I'm here with my SP Vortex. We ran a limited number in the SP plastic to commemorate my 6th PDGA Player of the Year. We also incorporated my new logo. The Vortex is a understable fairway driver. Instead of forcing my mids, I like to use this. I like to pop it on some hyzer, let the disc do all the work. Lots of glide, understable, great in the woods, great for easy distance. You can find these at discgolf.com/Katrina.
Tyler Classical Academy has been incredible. These kids are super excited for disc golf.
I didn't learn about disc golf until I was in my mid-20s, but I'm so happy that these kids do, and they're getting the chance to try it out.
This is a fantastic program and a fantastic opportunity for our school to have professionals come in and take over the PE program for a day and expose these kids to the joys that they can have in just watching a disc fly through the air.
The youth is really going to come in a strong wave to the sport of disc golf.
We are dedicated to the game. Developing technology and providing data that helps you take the next step. Whether it's your next training session, league night, or major. Because we believe the best way to grow the sport is to push the sport. And the best way to do that is together. We're focused on the future to make that happen.
I'm Garrett Girthy. People know me as Double G. I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
Whether I'm at home or on the road, Double G craft jerky is the snack that I go for.
I've actually found myself eating Double G craft jerky on my long drives to the next tournament.
We all know Double G's got a big arm, but he's also got a big heart. Every bag of Double G jerky that you buy supports children's disc golf and goes to a great cause.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
Some say we're hidden, unless you know where to look. Hidden? No. This is where we stand up straight and tell you who we are, and where we put others first. This is where college football and barbecue are a season in the same, and there's always time for one more lap around the park. This is where we ask, what else can we accomplish together? Come find out, be a part of this. This is Jonesboro, Arkansas. Now you know where to look.
The crowd was so spectacular today. Just the energy from you all was just amazing.
I love you, Oregon! And welcome back. Let's take a look at some Kristen Tatar highlights. She was providing them all 3 rounds for us. She is on 4, the long putt, left side corner pocket. And then attacking on hole number 5. Even with the disc dropping out of the sky, she carries over the water. And then here she is on 7, going to the forehand approach. That's going to put her right next to the pin for the tap-in birdie. And all of that en route to the hottest round of round number 3, tying Paige Pierce for that 8 under par. And so impressive, Val. You were saying that Kristen didn't have any out-of-bounds strokes throughout the entire weekend, and then today in the final round, keeping it bogey-free as well. Confident putt, pulls it in on 18, and she finishes with the birdie. Your champion here. She embraces Paige Pierce, and just, wow, just a week that the two of them have had, I know, after that great battle that we saw between the two of them last weekend, and Kristen Tatar coming back with authority, looking like that warrior princess and then some. Welcome back, everyone. We're here for the OTB After Show. Terry Miller alongside Valerie Jenkins. And Val, we were both kind of looking at some of the numbers of what we just saw from Kristen. I was writing down the 10 under to open, a 6 under in the worst conditions during round number 2, the 8 under today, 24 under, and then a 10-stroke margin of victory. So impressive.
Yeah, she just had so many statistics this weekend. it's her first time ever playing out on this course at this tournament. She also had her highest rated round ever with that 10 under in the first round. She had no OB strokes throughout the entire weekend, and then finishes today's round with not a bogey stroke. So all pars and birdies to finish off the weekend. Very solid shooting from Kristen Tatar. It was just a pleasure to watch. And again, it fueled the fire from what happened it's less than a week ago to what she was able to accomplish today. And so it just really, really fun to watch this whole weekend.
And you have to wonder, does she put a this side of heaven? Does this somehow now jump into her top 5 or top 10 for favorite courses with the way that she dissected and dominated out on this course? And some people may say, I don't necessarily play well on my favorite course, but when you play well and you dominate in the fashion that she did, you have to wonder if she'll think back and say, I can't wait to get back there, which could be in big trouble for our previous champions that we've seen in Katrina Allen and Paige Pierce. Missy Gannon, a very solid performance throughout, had some, just little lulls in today, but ultimately those were pars. So no harm, no foul. She just kept maintaining and then has that 2-stroke advantage over Ella Hansen and Kat Mertsch. The other notes that I was thinking about earlier is Ella Hansen, Kat Mertsch, such a statement weekend for them in that they maintained. They were under the pressure. They were under the spotlight coming into round number 2, and both of them maintained. They went out and did their job and found themselves still on the lead card today. Another opportunity to possibly fall off the pace or crumble under those pressure, under the spotlight. They didn't do it again today. So I'm so incredibly impressed. We know that they're both great golfers, but today and this weekend I feel like is just going to be a boost of confidence for their professional careers.
Yeah, and that's for sure. And what this entire lead card did above everyone else, they got the most birdies in the 3 rounds. This course is very scoreable. It was mostly about the drives and the fairway drive percentage. If you were in the middle and you were putting yourself in a good spot, you had the opportunities to score. And so although they made mistakes, they had plenty of birdies to back them up or to bounce back with. So that's what kept him in the loop, because that distance that they both have, they can throw very far. That gets them closer to the basket, makes the next shots easier, and just gives them more opportunities.
Yeah, and then right there on the second card we saw throughout the day, Holland Hanley, so impressed with her game. She is newer to the disc golf scene just in the last few years and really just jumped on the tour recently, besting her best effort before in an Elite Series event. Played very well when we saw her in her home area over there in California, in San Diego at the Challenge at Goat Hill, I believe, last year. That was her previous best performance on any DGPT event, but here on a bigger stage, on one of the toughest courses, she definitely came through as well. And she finished tied with a 2-time world champ in Katrina Allen, and then in front of Paige Pierce. And that's something, if you're Kat Mertsch, you're definitely writing home about that in your journal. So we have the OTB shot of the day coming to you right here on Championship Sunday. Let's take a look, Val. Kat Mertsch. Hole number 15. We saw her do this earlier in the weekend. She's been basket hunting, and this time finds herself just below the cage. Take a look at it from the catch cam angle. It doesn't get any better than that. Really wanting to drive home and hit on that OTB. Take one more look at her reaction. You know she's always good for one. Kat Mertsch gets the accolades from other card mates and her caddy. So impressive to see. Everybody throughout the weekend, if there's a theme outside of kind of the assuming how well we're going to see Kristen Tatar play, the other thing that we took away is people saying we need more Kat Mertsch. And if Kat Mertsch keeps playing the way she did this weekend, we're going to find her on more lead cards. Very different tone and demeanor than what Kristen Tatar is out there doing. Right. However, she certainly makes for some great entertainment and has a great golf game. We're going to close things out. We're going to again congratulate Kristen Tatar a dominating performance here, a 10-stroke margin of victory as she picks up the trophy in Jonesboro. We have to thank Nate Perkins out on the ground, giving us the insights. Val, thanks for sitting with me for another weekend as
My
we
pleasure.
enjoy our time here in the booth. Of course, we're going to wrap up the tournament with the MPO action. That's coming to you at 3:30 Central. I think it's going to be a battle over there as well. For Valerie Jenkins, I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you at 3:30 on DGN at the Jonesboro Open.